damn it. What I keep telling you guys about maintaining the field conditions in here. There we go. Tekla, can you please get that panel functional again? Get that thing sealed. I don't want party goers coming up in here. Those things are annoying enough as it is. They're even worse in the holidays. Oh my goodness. This all sucks. I'm Colwen. I need to shave this. I need to trim this. I need to trim this. So, timelines are mixing. It's kind of fun when they do that. I want to talk about... Now, I know I can't speak for all autistic people when I talk about these things, but I'm going to talk about the way my autistic mind works, okay? We're all familiar with the idea of control your emotions, pushing things down, psychologically repressing things, right? Okay. Well, for me, my mindscape kind of ends up being a mixture between a mental garbage dump and a dancing ballerina. Garbage dump, dancing ballerina. What does that mean? Okay, so I say garbage dump because there is a finite amount of thinking space in here. Okay? And psychological trauma and psychological turmoil, all the child abuse, domestic violence, domestic abuse I went through growing up, and yeah, no, it was straight up domestic abuse. Okay, well, I'll talk about that some other time. But that's psychological damage. That's psychological scarring. Okay, it's mental garbage, and it lays down, and it lays down, and it lays down. And when I try and talk about somebody, hey, this upset me or that upset me, and I get the, oh, get over it, learn to let go, move on, don't be bothered. That's literally a garbage compactor. Just pushing things in and compacting things and compacting things and... And what happens to any garbage dump? When you bury enough garbage in there, you get methane pockets building up down inside. And those methane pockets kind of bubble up, and then... And they just explode on the fucking surface, right? It's infuriating. So, a lot of times, as I'm just trying to function throughout the day without this, okay? I started regularly smoking about 10 years ago. I'm glad I started smoking. I should have started smoking sooner. Should have got my mom smoking, but that's a whole other subject. As I'm going through my day, trying to just function, do my job, my mind is filled with all these bad memories, just this wall garbage pile of just this bad incident and that bad feeling and that thing. And every once in a while, like, the ground will rumble and one of those methane pockets will just and I get this methane thought piss nastiness of like a random memory of, hey, that one time when my older brother stole my leftover food and all the other times he stole my leftover food, and if I took his leftover food, he'd haul off and kick my ass. Don't steal your older brother's Chinese food. Of course, he's not going to stop from stealing your Chinese food or your leftover taco stuff from when you went to the fancy Mexican restaurant because mom likes the margaritas there. So just as you're thinking throughout your day, you get hit by these random thought bubbles of just methane, garbage, nastiness. And for the longest time, before I started smoking weed regularly, music helped me. I would listen to certain songs, throw my headphones on, and like I can imagine me and Takare kind of singing and dancing along to the music, and I'd play out entire freaking music videos in my freaking head and just repeat them on loop. The nice thing about weed is that when things get really crazy and like the ground gets destabilized and it turns to like sludge and it's like an ocean of just this fucking thing and that fucking thing and this pissed me off. Um and I'm just drowning and just yelling and raging. Smoke some weed and like this nice fog lays over everything and the thick sludgy water solidifies and like I can climb myself out on top and like all right, let's take this bullshit thing and let's calmly think about and analyze this bullshit thing. All right, I'm done with that. Let's pull this thing over here and think about something positive. Let's focus on doing my job and just, even if I don't want to think, it's a mental fog in a way that I can still drive. That's why the vape pen is good for me. Take a real, be driving around at work and, methane bubble goes off in my mind. That son of a... What was I thinking about? Oh yeah, I gotta go over to this property and I have to cite this car at that property and this and that and... Gone. Gone. Okay. That's good. About 6 or 7 years ago, I liked my anime girls. It's the background in my previous videos. I got the wall scrolls up there now. Oh. You see those? Yeah, you can. Look, hold up. There we go. There's a thing out there called MMD. Miku, Hatsune, Lin, Ren, and I'm not remembering the Vocaloids. You know who the Vocaloids are? Well, somebody figured out how to do CG renders of different anime character girls and have them dance around in pretty dresses or bikinis or that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Don't look it up if you're not interested, but okay. One thing that I've developed is sometimes I don't want to dance, I don't want to do a music video, I just need a repetitive, cheerful beat and something to distract myself. So I would watch these dancing anime girls on YouTube, and yeah, they're on YouTube, and I've been able to put like a dancing ballerina in my head. And if I'm not able to smoke weed, or if the weed just isn't helping, or if I'm just that pissed off and angry, anime dance girl bouncing around, looking all cute and sexy, Bouncing anime titties can distract you from a lot of things. Quote me on that one. Oh wow. Oh wow. About a couple of weeks ago, for most of my life, I've been needing desperately to be able to talk about my psychological trauma. I tried talking to my mom about it, and there's only so much I was willing to talk to her about because, I think I've danced around enough, but I'm just going to say it. I was molested. Not once, not twice, but multiple times over the course of about 5 years. by an older family member that knew better, because every time he, yeah, I know he, finished with me, he would tell me, Colwen, don't tell anybody I did this to you, or I'll kill mom and dad. That bears several repeatings. Don't tell anybody about what I just did to you. And I'm not going to go into details about what he did to me, but Catholic priest scandal. Okay? Use your imagination. Don't. Colwen, don't tell anybody what I did to you, or I'll kill your mom and dad. My parents were told, and their response was, Colwen, stop making up stories. You don't want to get so-and-so in trouble, do you? 5 years old. 5 years old. Kindergarten. One of the teachers notices, hey, this little 5-year-old kid, he's acting really sketchy, really shy, really, hey, let's talk to you. And I told her, and she told my parents, and parents didn't believe me. Recently, I was able to start talking to my dad about this stuff. And the next day, after legitimately, and me and him didn't really even cover too much, it was just me flat out saying, dude, all my life you keep telling me to move on, learn to let go, not be bothered by. You really need to shut the fuck up and stop fucking saying that. Please. It's a lot less aggressive than I'm saying it right now because I'm emphasizing for comedic value, but it was a lot more subdued, and you need to stop fucking telling me those things, because those things don't help, and I really just need you to listen. Just please, shut up and listen. We really didn't even go into too much detail, but the next day, I went home, and I watched John Wick, badass movie, by the way. I only recently, in the last month or so, watched all 3 John Wicks over the course of a week. Oh my God. Good boy's adorable. I want to see Admiral John Wick, captain of a Sovereign-class starship, second in command, a pit bull named Good Boy. And why is he an admiral? He's an admiral with his own ship, because Admiral John Wick don't take orders from fucking nobody. Where was I? And that night, I slept really fucking well. Somehow my sinuses even weren't as bad. I think this might be a little psychosomatic. My brain's making it worse than it really is. And I can imagine because that's probably me pushing down my emotions, learning to let go, trying to move on. It's that's me just stuffing everything away. The next morning, I woke up. Normally when I wake up, it's, hey, that bullshit thing happened. And I gotta kind of stew on it for a minute or so before I was go smoke some weed. Okay, good, we're good. Moving on. But no, I woke up. I went to the bathroom. And I'm sitting there. And I realized, hey, one of my dancing girls is bopping around in my head, and my brain fucking feels empty. It's and I cried sitting there on the toilet because that was the first time in years, fucking years, I woke up and I felt good. I didn't smoke any weed until about 3-4 hours later. And it wasn't because I was having bad thoughts. It was because, I kind of want to smoke some weed. Okay, I smoked less weed that day because I didn't fucking need it. And I explained this to my dad. And all this shit keeps tying back in on each other, okay? You gotta follow along. But one of the things I explained to him, and my dad, he works with machines. Okay, he's got these big old 12-foot tall drill press machines with the moving tables on them, and he can drill a hole and then drill another hole 2 micrometers next to it, and it's perfect. And he's got these knobs and this and that. And okay. Um, fuck. One of the machines is a big old giant 12-foot tall EDM machine with a big old 200-gallon bin that you put all the fucking oil in and shit. And it's for doing details and molds. Like, you bust out your transformer and you got the jet with the rivets on shit on there and all that. They made that by making the mold and then cutting the whatever. Big ass fucking machines. We know what a wood lathe is, right? We know what a wood lathe is. It's got the thing that drills over here, and it's got the thing that spins over here, and you work the wood lathe down, right? Okay. Well, there's more industrial versions like that. There's engine lathes and CNC mills and Christ, all this bullshit. And well, I ask them, you're working on your engine lathe, and you're working along, and you reach in, and the machine snags the back of your hand and it rips a chunk of your flesh off. He actually had a friend. He has a friend that lost his thumb to an engine lathe. He reached in there and it just popped the thumb clean off. They're like, fuck. I ask him, if you get a chunk of your flesh ripped out, but the thumb's still working, right? Do you immediately, you hit the emergency stop and you slow things down and you get your hand out of the way and you go clean your hand up and you sit down and you go, oh man, that happened. Shit. You would think you would do that, right? Okay. Or you take this bloody, gory wound, and because your thumb's still working, I'll keep working the machine and get blood all over, and we got the metal chips coming off and the oil coming off, and we're going to get metal chips and oil and dirt and smuck all over in this gory, open fucking wound, right? Psychological trauma and emotional trauma, being abused, and he would always say, don't let people push your buttons, don't let people push your buttons. Told him straight up recently, it's not button pushing, it's boundary pushing. It's boundary pushing. When you have a boundary as big as being 5 years old and having somebody touch you in really gross, disgusting ways and threaten to kill your family, that cuts a big hole in your chest, in your soul. And, oh, we don't believe you. That's the metal chip. That's the bit of oil. That's the literal salt in the wound. And the continuing on of learn to let go. See, we talked about it earlier. Learn to let go. Move on. Don't be bothered. Not only is that compacting the mental garbage, but that's dumping oil and wood and nasty dirt and filth into the emotional scars. I ask them, at what point do you go and get your thumb fixed? At what point do you go and clean that wound finally? Do you wait till it's all caked in and no longer actually bleeding? I mean, it's gone that far, right? But at this point, it's going to get infected. Do you wait till it's pussing and bubbling? Do you wait till your chest, your wound is pussing and bubbling? Do you wait till your skull is burgeoning at the seams and you're slamming it and slamming it and slamming it, just trying to keep it all pushed in? Do you wait till the infection goes to the bone and spreads up your arm? and you get all feverish and sick and ill. But by telling somebody who's been abused, move on, learn to let go, don't be bothered by, it's literally what you're doing, and the emotional, psychological scarring will turn septic, and that's how you get the methane bubbles. This nasty pussiness just building up to the and the magic. And see, what I'm saying, learn to let go, that's a magic spell, because when you tell somebody, I hurt, I feel upset, I need to talk about my feelings, oh, don't be bothered, learn to let go, da 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 da. That's a magic spell, because what happens? One of two things happens. Normally, the person shuts up, and they're not shutting up because, oh, you're right, I should just learn to let go. No, they're shutting up because it's, well, fuck, man, I thought I could trust you. I thought you were willing to listen to me, but, alright, fuck you. Or, and how many guys out there, the girlfriend gets in the car, and how you doing, honey? Man, this stupid bitch and that stupid bitch. How many guys go, man, every time you get in the car, you're complaining about this, that, and the other. Fucking argument happens. Hey, you should just learn to let go and not be bothered by these stupid. Fucking argument happens. What's the proper response? Girlfriend gets in the car, she's complaining about work and this, that, and the other. Hey. Relax. Talk to me about it. Bring the volume down and just talk to me about it, huh? Come on. Well, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. Wow, that sucks. Wow, that's bullshit. Wow, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say is always a good thing to say. Now, you shouldn't know what to fucking say. And after about 10, 15 minutes of her just talking, like, are you hungry? Fuck yeah, woman, I'm hungry. Well, let's go to the store before we go home. All right. So what else you want to talk about? Well, this thing pissed me off, and that pissed me off. Oh, man, that's bullshit. Man, I wish I could go over and kick that bitch's ass for you. No, you don't. That's not nice. Don't do that. When somebody's upset, don't tell them to calm down, because what always happens? They don't calm down. The talking about it is how you start to clean out the chest wound. The talking about it is getting the garbage out of your brain and scooping it out. And it gets to a point where sometimes you gotta get up in there with a chisel and start chiseling shit out of there like you're in the back of a cement truck. Thank you for listening. I hope you watched all the way through. I hope the timey-wiminess doesn't confuse anybody. Things are a little goofy around here, but isn't that always the best ways to have things? This has been Colwen talking about the ballerina and the garbage dump, psychological, emotional scarring, and really the best and only way to deal about it is just fucking talk about it. Thank you for watching.